Wednesday.
Good morning to you. This is Kay Adams with you till 12 on BBC Radio Scotland. It is Wednesday the 19th of June and of course it is a huge night for Scottish football as the Scotland's men's team face Switzerland in the Euros. A nation holds its breath. More than 100,000 Scottish fans have travelled to Germany and whilst they've had a warm welcome there have been a few nightmares.
And got the
style furniture, which was stuff usually found in a skip. The mini fridge had a half-eaten sandwich in it, and the breakfast was served in the post office. In the post office space with the public counters in situ and stuff cleared away for the dining guests. There you go, Sheila. That's fine for you. Sorry, terrible accent. Do apologise for that. 80295. But do keep your holiday horror texts coming in and the voice notes. I love the voice notes. 08085 92 95 00. Still to come this morning.
Now, three brothers from Edinburgh have set a series of world records after rowing across the Atlantic Ocean in just 35 days.
Well, I have those three brothers lined up in front of me on giant screens and they're here to tell us about their next even bigger challenge. And we have another humdrum conundrum for you.
My friend used a voucher to pay part of our bill at a restaurant. Was I wrong to pay only half the remaining balance?
Oh, I'm dying to get involved in this one. I really am. But anyway, Karen McKenzie's up first. She'll tell you what she thinks. But you, of course, are the jury, so you can text your thoughts to 80295. Martin James, he'll weigh in as well, I'm sure.
1, 2, 3.
Wait. What's the first line again?
Help.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2.
Help!
No, wait.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I need somebody. Not just anybody. You know I
He's here
need
to help
someone.
you. He is our go-to consumer rights guy. So if you've paid good money and you've got a bad deal and you need a bit of help to sort it out, then give Martin a call. 08085 92 95 00 is the number. You can also text 80295. We know what's happening at 8 o'clock tonight, don't we?
listen.
Your telephone on BBC Radio Scotland.
You know, everybody's always talking about me being jealous. You see, that's because they don't know the difference between a jealous and a careful man. You see, I tell my woman when I leave home, I say, baby, if any of my friends come by looking for me, don't open the door. Just look through the peephole. Tell them I'm not at home. And I'll tell you why I do this. You see, my woman likes to wear dresses real short. She moves a lot of parts. Every time she walks, I got me some friends I would trust with my life, but I don't trust no man alone with my wife. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, they can't help it. Men will always be men. And a good-looking woman will make you forget a friend. Some guys don't mind letting their buddies come by and wait, but I don't tease a hungry man with a steak. Oh, I guess that's my everybody. Everybody say that I'm a jealous man. Whoa, I'm just a careful man. That's all I am. Now you're probably saying that, Latin boy, we ain't jealous. But it's a known fact that a woman can do anything she want to do right up under your nose. Look so innocent, come out smelling like a rose. You see, a man can't miss what he can't measure. And only a fool wouldn't watch the woman that he loves and says that he treasures. Now wait a minute. If she wanna get it on, there's no such thing as she can't. If walls could talk, a whole lot of folks would faint. There's such a thin line between what's right and what's wrong. And carelessness has wrecked a many happy home. Oh, I guess that's for everybody. Everybody say that I'm a jealous man. Oh, I'm just a careful man. That's all I am. Everybody say that I'm a jealous man. Oh, I'm just a careful man. That's all I am.
hoping for a winning Wednesday tonight, aren't we, in Cologne, Germany, as Scotland face Switzerland. We'll be psyching up for Switzerland a little bit later on. This morning we were talking about holiday horror stories. I tell you what, rowing across the Atlantic in 35 days doesn't sound like a bundle of laughs to me, but anyway, the McLean brothers did it in record time, Ewan, Jamie and Lachlan. But now, for some reason, they've come up with an even more daunting challenge, and they are here to tell us more about it. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kay.
Good morning. I was going to say good morning, boys, but it makes you sound like a bunch of toddlers, so I'm really sorry about that. We'll hear about the new challenge, which is mind-boggling, but just refresh us, if you would. I don't know, Ewan, if you would maybe kick us off about the Atlantic Challenge. Was it 2020 you did that?
Yeah, 2019, 2020, we joined part in a race called the Talisker Whisky Atlantic Challenge, which is a kind of yearly rowing race across the Atlantic. Starts in the Canary Islands and arrives in the Caribbean. So we took part in it and broke a couple records by doing it in 35 days. And very much enjoyed the experience. So we're here to tell you about the next one.
Tell me how you enjoyed the experience. What was enjoyable about that experience?
Well, I think it's partly setting a big challenge for yourself. You know, the rowing an ocean is a huge challenge, not just the physical challenge. It's also all the build up, you know, getting the boat together, building that team around you to raise all the sponsorship. And then we had a huge kind of charitable fundraising aspect as well. So there was a lot of kind of fundraising activities, which we did alongside as well. So I think it's partly taking on that big challenge. You know, we all love rowing. You know, that's kind of grown for us over the last few years, particularly. But I think there's a number of things that have gone into it, which have made us really enjoy it.
Yeah. And how do you, Jamie and Lachlan, how do you work together as a trio, as three brothers? I mean, are you always completely in harmony and sync, or I saw you nodding at each other. You two are in sync, aren't you? Are you two twins?
No, we're not twins. We're not twins.
Gosh, you're very,
I think being brothers was probably a big strength for us, because we were, I don't know, we know each other pretty well, and I think especially when the conditions got a bit hairy or whatever, we kind of had similar comfort zones of what we were happy to row in and how hard we were happy to push. So I think it was a strength. Obviously, there's brotherly love as well. You know, there was definitely some arguments or whatever, but we were able to, I think, thankfully resolve them pretty well at sea.
I mean, I don't know. Well, obviously, I don't know how you work as brothers, but I mean, as a sibling group, I think it's potentially a strength, isn't it? That you can have some pretty strong conversations with each other, but you kind of know that you're not going to fall. It's not going to be a complete deal breaker, that you're going to be able to come back from it. And when you're marooned in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, I suppose that's quite a good thing, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think we all, you don't take things personally from your siblings, or you try not to. I think if it's a friend, you know, you're in your worst self out there when you're very fatigued and sleep deprived, and you need to be with people that you trust and that you know very well.
Do you fall into natural roles? Do you have, the bossy one, the organised one, the whatever one? If you were the Spice Girls or the Spice Boys, what would you be?
Interestingly, we never actually, as a crew, we never had a skipper, which is very common on boats. You know, you've got one person that will kind of take the lead. I think, again, actually, not just being brothers, but the fact that there was only three of us, it kind of helped us make decisions, because it was always just a majority vote. You know, that's how we kind of made any kind of key decisions. But, you know, in terms of roles, yeah, absolutely. I'm an engineer by trade, so I tend to kind of look after the kind of, if anything technical goes wrong on the boat, that's kind of my role.
All right. So Ewan, you're technical Spice. Yes.
Ewan's technical Spice. The most famous of the Spice Girls, as I remember.
Yeah, I'll have to think of something a bit more snappy. That's not really working very well. Technical Spice, is it? Jamie, what spice are you?
I would say I'm very keen on. I'm a keen cook, so I was in charge of our food for the Atlantic, and I'll be in charge of our food for the Pacific. So refueling will be my category of expertise, and we'll look to maybe make our own freeze-dried food and rations to take on the crossing with us.
You are spicy spice, spicy spice. Yeah. You are. What about you, Lachlan?
Oh, I think I'm probably I don't know. I think youngest sibling, you often take that role of kind of just observing the chaos that's going on around you, and I don't know, maybe a bit of a cohesive social role. So I think that's probably me.
You've talked
trying to
yourself into
improve
being
the
baby
morale.
Spice.
Yes.
And you did it yourself. Is it freeze dry food the whole way?
Yes, yeah, predominantly, and lots of porridge. Lots
Right.
of porridge, lots of freeze-dried rations, and we are going to take a decent fishing rod this time and try and catch some fish along the way.
Right. Oh gosh, that sounds quite well. That makes it sound as if, you know, slightly Mark Twainish, which I know it is absolutely not going to be. So tell us about the new challenge, Ewan.
Well, so we've got family out in Australia, and I've always wanted to visit them. So we thought, why not row to Australia? So we're gonna row across the entire Pacific, not from the UK, but the where we'll cross from, starting in Peru, in South America, and then right across the Pacific, non-stop, unsupported, 9,000 miles across to Sydney is where we're aiming for. So
God,
quite a big road.
I am trying to actually visualise that route from Peru. Oh, gosh, from Peru to Sydney. So
Yeah.
what do you
So
go?
it's-
Do you go down? You go down the bottom then, round the bottom.
No, you go. It's pretty equatorial actually. We'll start. We'll stay at a similar similar distance from the equator, most of the way across, starting in Peru, and then we'll drop down at the end and kind of go south to hit Sydney.
And what will the weather conditions be like?
Well,
I think on you
on
go.
you go. Well, it'll be it's still a trade route, so you get quite consistent weather once you get off the coast of South America. So I think the first 1,000 miles, they're going to be tough. Absolutely, there's a lot of weather to break through. But once you're into it, once you're 1,000 miles off, you should get into these big rolling conditions, which means that the weather and the waves and the kind of, there's a current as well, which will be roughly going in the right direction. So that should help us on our journey.
And Spicy Spice, how many days are you going to have to prepare food for?
We're going to need food, we reckon, for about 120 days. 120 days is the goal. It could be more than that. We're somewhat limited with the size of our boat as to how much food we can actually take. So there will be a limit. There'll be a max amount, which will probably be around the 140 to 160 day mark. So somewhere within that window is what we're aiming for, 120 ideally.
So you will be at sea for about 120 days?
We will, yeah. Yeah, that's that. And that would be relatively quick.
Right. And so what is the boat like?
The boat's amazing. So it's about 28 feet long. It's custom built by a company in the Netherlands, and it's full carbon. And so it's incredibly light, but incredibly strong. And it's built in a similar process to how they build Formula One cars. So it's kind of like a carbon fiber sandwich that is sort of state of the art for its kind.
Right, but it's powered entirely by you three. There's no external power source.
Unfortunately not. No, we're not allowed any outboards or anything. Otherwise it'd just be on there. So it's completely powered by us three on the oars, and then we have solar cells on the cabins that power our electronic systems and charge some batteries so that we can then make fresh water out of salt water with a desalinator.
Right. I mean, Lachlan, was there anything that you learned on the last trip that you're going to take into this one? Because no matter how, well planned you are, I'm sure there are things that happen at sea, as they say, that you might not have anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, I think this next trip's going to be a very different challenge. The last one was it was 35 days, and we were pushing really hard for the whole of that time. This trip is it's much longer, so I think it's going to be much more about finding a rhythm that's sustainable and comfortable at sea. We're raising money. Well, main reason we want to do it is we're raising the goal is to raise £1 million for clean water projects. So I think trying to do whatever we can to kind of succeed on that front is a huge objective going into this next challenge.
And that was the same charity that you were raising funds for on the Atlantic.
The last trip was, it was half the money went to clean water projects, half went to Children First, which is Scotland's national children's charity.
Right, okay. Do you ever get scared out there?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it does. You'll get huge conditions, up to kind of 40, 50-foot waves. And that can be, in a lot of ways, particularly at night, that can be kind of quite daunting, I'd say. You certainly get used to it. Humans are amazing. Your body and your mind adapts to the environment that you're in. And actually, surfing down these huge waves is a huge amount of fun. I think one of the things that a fear for us, obviously, that I think anyone would understand, is the fear of losing someone overboard. And there was a night on the Atlantic actually where Lachlan, who because of the sleep deprivation, particularly in the first week when you're getting used to that that kind of rhythm, you're changing into having very small amounts of sleep. You can suffer from sleepwalking. Lachlan had an episode where he was kind of found on the oars, not really rowing. He was kind of just sleepwalking. And he'd been out there for about 2 hours with no harness on. And that's the most dangerous situation you can be in, because it's at night. There's only one of you on the oars, and if you don't have your harness on, you could be washed overboard. So we'll be doing everything we can to mitigate that. We've been talking about putting kind of seatbelt alarms on the next boat to make sure we always clip in.
I think Baby Spice wanted to say something there in his own defence.
No, well, it's good to. I'm happy to say that we all actually sleepwalk as well. So that's three different seatbelts, which is great.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of keeping your spirits up, because it's a long old haul, you're all quite musical, is that right? So you might have various instruments with you just to try and do a little bit.
Yeah, no, we will. We're going to take. So we all play traditional Scottish musical instruments. So Lachlan's on the accordion, I play the bagpipes, Ewan plays the violin. No, sorry, the guitar. And so last time Ewan brought a ukulele, but I think he's going to bring a slightly bigger. He's going to bring a miniature guitar. You're going to bring a miniature accordion if you can, and I'll bring a full set of bagpipes again, just to be difficult. But also it does mean we can arrive in a bit of style in Australia.
Yeah, well, 3 men in a boat, that's going to be quite an entrance. So you're gonna plan is to go into Sydney Harbour at the final, is it?
That's the aim. Yeah, that's the aim, weather permitting.
Wow, that will be incredible. Well, listen, thanks very much for telling us all about it. Very best of luck. When do you actually set off? It's not till next year. You're still fundraising and things at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, we've got about a year of preparation, and we'll be setting off start of May 2025.
All right. Okay. Well, hopefully speak to you just before you head off. Thank you very much
Awesome.
indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
There you go. The very, very, very intrepid McLean brothers.
This
We changed the face of radio right here in the UK. The critics said we wouldn't last, but you showed them the way. We're adding extra listeners to this show every day. We hope that listener increase equals increase to our pay. The Chris Moyle Show.
Rip-offs, refunds, or knowing your rights, whatever it is, you need a bit of help, then Martin can certainly provide that. You can give him a call on 08085 92 95 00. Same number to send him a WhatsApp message or a voice note. You can also text 80295. You're still getting in touch with your stories of holiday horrors. Ewan in Prestwick says, we went on a holiday to a reputable hotel in Fuerteventura back in 2018. All 5 of us with 3 Waynes. My 12-year-old son at the time got the fold-down double bed in the lounge, opted to sleep on the window side of the bed. On night 4 of our 7-day trip, we were awoken at 3 in the morning by an almighty crash. The plasterwork on the ceiling had come off the roof and landed on the empty space on the double bed. We got an upgrade for the remaining days and 1 night off the cost. Oh my goodness, I would imagine you spent the whole time just going, whew, that was close. 80295, keep them coming.
This is the
You are under my power. It is the power of love.
BBC Radio Scotland.
Me, Connie McLaughlin. Hi, me, Zarjan Jua. On BBC Radio Scotland.
We've been talking about holiday horrors. Let's just talk horrors. She's back. Yes.
Oh, I'm back, y'all.
Welcome back.
And that's a fact, y'all.
Karen, I know, but you look forward to my little asides, I think. You'd be disappointed if I didn't do it, wouldn't you?
I'd be worried, actually.
You would. If I just said, here's Karen Mackenzie, you'd be upset.
Well, that's almost being nice, so that would be scary.
Well, that's as nice as it's going to get.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
clearly.
the outside edge. That's the outside edge.
Anything other than that's lying.
I was just saying to you, we were talking about holiday horrors earlier on in the phone-in. Any holiday horrors?
Well, there was one in Cuba. We went on a family holiday, you know, all the sisters and their partners, and with a big company, one of those, you know, across the, you know, big holiday.
All right, let's just not get any old.
Well, what I'm saying is, on my, you know how I'm not always really tight, and I sort of do it myself, and I kind of, then you can't claim anything. And part of it was there were two homestays, and one was in this place. And
what's a homestay?
Well, it's where people open their homes and you have the experience of staying in the home, and they do the home cooking, and it's not just, now bear in mind,
you're lodging in someone's back bedroom. Come on,
it's not great for food. Well, sort of, only this wasn't even a back bedroom. It was a bit like the guy who, it was like a dungeon as well. My bedroom was like a dungeon. It didn't have a window. It had a space in the wall with bars over it.
Oh, I'd love to see you in there. Oh, what I would pay for that.
There wasn't a light, and there were bare wires as well. I don't know what the wires were for because there wasn't a light. And we had 2 nights there, I think. And then we had a further homestay later on, and that was the other end of the spectrum. It was fantastic. But we got a refund and I think a bit of compensation for that section. But clearly nobody had been out there to check.
No, I don't think anyone does. You take your chances.
I know. God. Anyway.
I
didn't hear yours. I bet you've got loads.
Oh, I do. We all have loads. I wonder if our lovely interlocutor, that's the word I love, Dave Chawner, comedian and fellow opinionated individual as you, has got any holiday horrors either. How are you? Where's your lovely...
Hello.
Where's your lovely... Where's your lovely dogs? Where's your lovely dogs?
Where are they?
Oh, but they're actually, we don't have them, so we only look after them, so I don't have them today. I
remember that.
Oh, well, not that it's not lovely enough to see you, Dave, but I remember the last time that you were with us and we had you up on the video screen. You had these gorgeous doggies with you as well. Before we get on to our conundrum, and it's a really good one today, it's already caused fights in the office.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, and it came from a listener. Oh, yeah, it's caused a lot, this one.
Funny.
But any holiday horrors, Dave?
I think any holiday with me is generally a horror, so I think we don't have enough time, really.
You are a holiday horror.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Nobody's fessed up to that. All right, let's get on with today's conundrum, because I think this is a real goodie. I think this is going to divide people. Absolutely. Here we go.
My friend invited my wife and I for dinner at a hotel to celebrate his wife's birthday. We'd given her a present previously. On the night, we all had a lovely evening with ample good food and wine. When it was time to pay the bill, which included a service charge, my friend asked if we could go halves, and I agreed. He then produced a £100 voucher, which the server deducted. As I was closest, I paid half the balance, and my friend paid the remainder, but looked a bit annoyed. Apparently, he expected me to pay half of the total bill. Was I wrong in paying just half the remaining balance?
I'd love to know where you sit on this, Kay.
Oh, no. It's
No, I'm
between
not.
you
No,
and
I know.
You and Dave. As you know, I like to stay out of things. I never stick my oar
You
in.
didn't last week. Poor Libby.
But can I just, because I know, you can get confused, Karen, can you just give us a recap
Stop
of
it.
that? Come on.
No. You know what I'm like
you
with
can.
figures? No, I can't. Oh my God, I can barely read out the emails as the producer will. No, I couldn't. I know where I stand on this.
Go on then, let's have
Tight
it.
tight fist.
Who is?
The person that's produced the voucher. The one whose wife. Now I get confused because do you know what I imagined?
See, I told you, Dave.
No,
I told you.
I imagined it was a bloke that was going to be saying this. I have no idea why, right?
She's so traditional.
Got it in
Dave.
my mind. Yeah, absolutely right. It could be two women, it could be two men.
Yes,
absolutely.
Welcome to the 21st century,
Well, I
Karen.
think
How are
it's
you?
because. No, you're absolutely right. God, I'm embarrassing.
Can we get that on a loop,
No,
please?
stop it. So what? Yeah, so this person, can I just call him a bloke? Would that be all right? No, okay then. So this person, actually, who was the listener that got in touch? I think you'll
I'm good
find...
to Dave. I'm good
I
to
think
Dave.
you'll find it was a chap. And that's where I'm getting confused. So this person, right, had a voucher. It's their wife's birthday. So, oh my God, this is so... You've thrown me. You absolutely thrown me. Why? So you produce 100, but now 100 quid is quite a lot, right? We don't know the total amount of the meal, but I think for 100 quid, it's quite a lot. If they wanted the other person, I'm so confused.
You are now in a situation. I mean, what I love about this, well, I know exactly where I stand, was
The
her
guy's
opening
tight-fisted.
statement. She doesn't even know what she's talking about. Dave, help us out. Where do you stand?
You're horrible
I
to me.
am on the side of... I am on the side of sanity in this one. If you say you are going to split the bill 50-50, you split the bill 50-50. So let's say the meal was, firstly, I think £100 voucher. I've never paid more than £100 for a meal. So I
Another tight fist then.
Oh, 100%. I am Nando's all the way. Other restaurants are available. But let's say that the meal was, say, I don't know, £500. You'd split it 250 quid each. If you want to use a voucher of £100 for that £250, that counts to splitting the bill. You don't say, let's take the voucher off and then let's split it.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
It's up to me whether I pay in vouchers, stamps, club card points, whatever it is. It's 50-50. That is all
This
that
person,
it is.
Team Dave.
This person
Team Dave.
did not
Team
pay for the
Dave.
voucher. Do you know what? It was probably the wife's blinking birthday present, the voucher. And they invited this couple to share her birthday. So it actually, you shouldn't have been paying anything.
They'd already given her a person. Let's talk
know
about it just
exactly.
for you.
Right.
We'll talk about voucher person. Okay, so voucher person is the person with the voucher.
Yeah, got
and
that.
then we'll talk about complainer. So the person, the person is saying, "Am I unreasonable in only splitting the portion of the bill that was left after the voucher?" Right?
Yeah.
And you are saying that it was perfectly reasonable for them to pay that lesser bit.
Yeah, of course.
Dave,
So hang on.
Dave is saying absolutely not. However, voucher person wants to pay their side of it, that's up to them. But the total bill should be split 50-50
No way.
down the middle.
No
If you want to
way.
use your voucher, crack on, but it's
stop it.
50-50.
That's
Am I right,
ridiculous.
Dave?
100%.
He's
In
confused as
world?
well. Now you're just no. What I would like to say is, voucher.
My favourite colour's purple.
Be quiet. Don't. I can't. I need to focus. Voucher person has said, would you pair like to come out for a meal? Oh, by the way, it's conditional. We've got to go to this restaurant, open brackets, because I've got a voucher and we're not going to go anywhere else. Although I've got this voucher, you're expected to pay half of the total bill. So I'm actually getting off, with very little to pay.
Dave?
Firstly, that is a huge assumption that they said we have to go out to
Well, they
this
have,
restaurant.
because the voucher will be for that restaurant.
No, you can get loads of gift cards that are available for numerous chains, numerous
No.
restaurants,
You're
etc.
making things up now, Dave.
No, good point, Dave.
Shut it.
Even if that is the case, when you enter into that contract, it's before you even get to the meal that you turn around.
Well, why
and go,
was it not discussed until they went for the meal? It was only brought up then that they go halfers.
I don't think it matters. Like, you're not going to turn around and say, you know what, let's split the bill half. And then if you pay in cash, you go, okay, what we're going to do is, now you've paid half of that in cash, we'll split the rest, but on card. You're like, it doesn't matter how I'm paying. If we're going 50-50, we're going 50-50. And it's up to me whether I choose a voucher. It's up to me whether I choose cash, card, however I want to pay.
I'm loving Dave. I'm absolutely loving Dave. I'm absolutely team Dave all the blooming
Yeah, he is a comedian, isn't he?
But because when you think about it...
Apparently.
So the person who has the voucher...
Yeah, voucher person.
Right, that... Let's presume, and I know we can't presume everything.
It is for that restaurant.
That they have received that as a gift from someone.
Yeah.
Let's say it was from their mother who gave them that for Christmas. Here's a gift to you, my darling,
share that
of
gift.
£100. Why would you, as somebody who is meeting Voucher Man for dinner, expect to have a bit of his Christmas gift from his mum? Because that is essentially what you are asking for. If you go out for dinner with people and the bill is, we'll say £200 for easy math, and there's two couples, it's £100 down the middle. If you want to pay it in 2 chickens and a camel, that's entirely up to you.
Right, I've stopped listening to you because in case I lose my thread, what I do want to say is... I think I might have lost it. What I would like to say... Hold on. I've almost got it back. Yeah. If he wanted to use that voucher and it was for £100, then he should have just taken him and their partner out, a man or a woman or whoever it is. So just the two of them should have gone out if he didn't want to share it with anyone else.
Right.
I can't say anything else.
No, I think you're probably done. Yeah, you're probably done there. Well, what do you think? You are the jury. We've had a very clear case explained to us and put forward by Dave there. Karen's also with us this morning. But tell us what you think.
She's here if not present.
80295. The two of you, do you want a holiday horror story to send you on your way?
Yes, please.
Right, well, listen, I hope you're not of a delicate constitution because you might not like
diarrhea?
It's from Dave. Not you, Dave, another Dave, a text of Dave. Arrived in Athens, first leg of a student interrail holiday. Fly out, working our way home on the trains as normal. We turned up, searched for a hotel, found a nice place, went into reception. We're in luck. We'll have an ensuite shower room. So it was years ago. It was a treat. What a result.
Yeah.
Nice big corner room. Opened the ensuite door. Slightly whiffy, but no worse than the usual student flat. After a big night out, following morning, I'm sitting on the pan. It's a Scottish expression, Dave. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but you probably get the picture. And through my bleary eyes, I noticed there's a floor tile missing. And it seemed that the missing tile had covered an open drain pipe. So I flushed the toilet and I watched my business slosh by.
Oh, my God.
Skipped breakfast, says Dave.
Oh, dear.
Dave, I leave you with that. Poor Dave has left the room and he now has his head down said toilet.
Oh.
Thank you very much. But anyway, get in touch about today's humdrum conundrum. 80295.
That's right. Life is funny, ain't it? Sometimes you end up with somebody you really don't want to be with, and others left to figure it out. Check it.
She was more than a woman, a goddess for all to see. And all I ever needed was her right here loving me. For a while we were cool in the groove and our love was on, but I still remember how it felt when our love was gone. Ooh, picture it. It's a photograph she took years ago. Secret memories see, I see you. Oh, yeah. Way back long ago, my heart, yeah. So help me out. As she turned through the pages, the tears rolled down her face. I can see her reminiscing why her life had to be this way. Then she stopped as she came to a page where her diary ends. To smell the scent of an rose from her lover, I suppose. Tied a picture, but was a photograph she took, yeah. Secret memories in her mind. Oh, how could love be so unkind? Heartbreak time. Faded pictures in a broken glass. Oh, baby, like a mirror revealing, like a mirror revealing what the woman is feeling. Was he someone from a distant past? Oh, 'cause it's breaking my heart. It's breaking my heart. Stare into the glass. Stare into the glass. Oh, oh, oh. She stares into the glass. Oh, na 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 na. She looks to see the past. Spin, 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 na na na. She stares into the glass. Oh, na 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 na. Lost inside the past. Faded pictures in a broken glass. Like a mirror revealing. I feel it. What the woman is feeling. Yeah, I know it too. Was he someone from a distant past? Way back long ago. You're breaking my heart, girl. Faded pictures in a broken glass. Oh.
Do apologise to Queen Bey there. We're still getting loads of texts in about holiday horrors, and I am really enjoying them. I'm loving this one from Bruce from Milton of Campsie. He's in Vienna. He's in Vienna. It's a B&B. It's accessed through a shop front in the Nussdorfer Strasse. The imposing woman welcomed our family with, "There will be no drinking and breakfast is at 7, and do you want an evening meal?" "Yes, please." So she shouted, and a wee man instantly appeared, fully dressed in lederhosen, which is my dream, I have to say. He ran out into the street with us in pursuit. He ran into the next street and simply pointed to a restaurant. The next morning at 6 a.m. sharp, he was out chopping wood and singing loudly outside our window to make sure that we were up for 7. We didn't stay another night. That's the kind of story I love. You never forget that kind of thing, do you? Never forget a man in lederhosen. Do you, Martin James?
I'd never forget a man in lederhosen. No, exactly. In fact, I've got some lederhosen if you fancy having a drink at Oktoberfest.
I kind of thought you might have, funnily enough. I thought somewhere at the back of your wardrobe, possibly close to the front, might be some lederhosen. Yes, Martin James, of course, our consumer expert, who's here principally to answer your questions and help you out if you've paid good money and you've got a bad deal. 80295 is the text number. You can call him on 08085 92 95 00. You can also message by WhatsApp or voice notes. So that's all the business out the way. Martin taking calls from 11, although the lines are open now. But before we get on to what's happening, Martin, the Karen Cumdrum Conundrum today was a corker. Did you manage to listen to it?
I did indeed, and I'm pleased to say it's a very simple one to answer this week, Kay.
Go on then.
I'm totally Team Dave.
Team Dave?
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. Let me just explain how the rules work for all of the listeners if you're going out for a meal. It doesn't matter how you pay for it. You split it equally, and the birthday girl or boy never pays. So whoever's left over, equal split down the middle. Doesn't matter, as you say, if you're paying for it in luncheon vouchers.
Right, well, there you go. Clear, crystal clear, crystal clear. Karen will be outside somewhere fuming at that one. Probably still trying to work it out. Now, in terms of what is going on at the Euros, we spoke earlier on today to Rory, who was the person who had that absolute accommodation nightmare. And actually we had Simon Calder on, and he was, telling us, and I'm sure you would echo what he's saying, if you book through these accommodation sites, booking.com is one of them, but there are others, there's really not a lot of comeback on that, he was telling us. What about beyond that, though? Because there have also been reports of the fan zone not being what people expected it to be, and toilet facilities and stuff. If you go to a big event and it is a bit of a shambles, what can you do?
Well, do you know, I've been watching the news and listening to all the stories. It's really been quite traumatic, particularly for the Scottish fans. And also, it's kind of like rubbing the noses in it as well, because I noticed when the England game was on, they were doing a huge thing about like rows of toilets by the Rhine, which certainly wasn't what happened in the fan zones and in Munich as well. So there have been a series of disasters here. This is a really, really tricky one, though, because it depends on what you've actually paid for, who you've got the contract with. And unfortunately, fan zones and things like that are laid on by the host cities and UEFA. So it's ultimately for them to come up with the organisation to sort things out. So if you've not paid for it, unfortunately, there's very little that you can do in terms of pursuing it. However, if you pay for a package that, is supposed to incorporate kind of like being able to get access to the loos, to drinks, to getting into stadiums quickly and things along those lines, then you can complain. I've been chatting this morning to a lot of the fan groups, and what they're going to do is make collective complaints on behalf of the fans who've travelled over to UEFA about the poor organisation and everything else. But one other thing just to factor into this, and obviously we hope it doesn't get into that situation, but if there are safety issues, then you absolutely could potentially prosecute if you feel that you've been put into a very dangerous situation. But really, it's just a bit of a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, but banding together sounds like a good idea, because then you've got the weight of evidence, haven't you, that you can hopefully present. Martin, well, listen, you're back from 11. Also want to have a word with you about this E. coli outbreak that people will be concerned about as well, so we can maybe talk about that. But Martin James is here to answer your questions. So whether it is about refunds, or you feel you've been ripped off, whether that is online or in real life, whether it's an event or it's a product that you have purchased, whatever it is, get in touch, and Martin will do his level best, and his best is very, very good to help you out. 08085 92 95 00, that's the number. You can WhatsApp message, you can voice note on that, and you can also text us on 80295. Speak soon, Martin.
Girl, I need a change. You need to zap that cap. Good idea, but how? With Leisure Curl. It helped a lot of my customers zap their caps. It's a great non-greasy curl product that requires no plastic cap. Now, Tony's really on the ball. Kevin and Joyce Turner can relax in style. And Debbie, she has the look of relaxed hair with the maintenance of a curl. You forgot to mention one more customer. Who's that? Me. Well, that's the cap with Leisure Curl.
I'm looking through these texts, this holiday horror texts, and there's one here, and I thought, well, no, actually, I thought there was 6. 7, 8, and they're all from Anne in Edinburgh, and they all happened on the same holiday. There's just nothing went right here. Suitcase went missing, had all her best stuff in it. That's never happened to me yet, touch wood. She did get it back, but it didn't open properly. Went for a game of tennis using the hotel's rackets. One strike of the ball and disintegrated, and the staff were really fed up about it. Boyfriend was away working one afternoon, put on a bikini out to get some sun. Very sunny, but it was November and it was not warm. Went to the balcony, shut the door behind me, locked out there for hours, not a member of staff to be seen, 3 stories up stuck there till my boyfriend came back very late. Took a trip into the mountains in a hired car, stalled. This is a nightmare. Stay at home is the message here. Stay at home. Don't leave the bedroom. In fact, stay listening to BBC Radio Scotland with me, Kay Adams. Keep your questions coming in for Martin James, our consumer rights expert. If you need a bit of help to sort something out, if you've got yourself in a right old fankle, then give him a call, 08085 92 95 00. But coming up next, how do we psych ourselves up for Switzerland?
Get in touch with BBC Radio Scotland.
You can call our free phone number on 08085 92 95 00.
You can text on 80295. Network charges apply.
Mornings on BBC Radio Scotland.
So it's a huge night tonight for the Scotland men's football team. As we know, they were the opening match with Germany, the hosts, and it was a 5-1 score at the end, and it was pretty brutal. Switzerland tonight, this is the second match of the Euros, and they need to get a result really to stay in the tournament. They need to at least walk away with a point. So, I mean, it's a tough spot, a tight spot they find themselves in. How do they psych themselves up? For Switzerland, who are looking pretty tidy, their opening game was against Hungary, which is, of course, the other team in the group. And I think, was it 3-1? Yeah, 3-1. They won the match 3-1 against Hungary. So they are looking like pretty tough opponents. So, Dr. Gillian Cook, Senior Lecturer in Sports Psychology at Liverpool John Moores University. The hopes of a nation rest on your shoulders, Gillian. Tell us. No pressure.
I was going to say that sounds like pressure.
Well, listen, any port in a storm, you know what they say. What can the team do to get themselves ready for what is undoubtedly a crunch fixture here?
Well, I think the first thing that the team need to do is initially recognise what happened against Germany. From what Andy Robertson has said in press conferences and Steve Clarke said as well, there was fear. The players went out, fear took over, and so their minds weren't in the right place to go on and do what they wanted to do. So what I anticipate they will have done over the last couple of days is they will have gone through, in sports psychology, what we'd call the 4 Fs. So they will initially have gone fudge, maybe you can think of another word, where they thought that's not what we wanted to happen. And then you need to fix it. So what should we have done that we weren't doing? Where were some of our weaknesses? What could we do better? And it's doing that over and over in training and forgetting that result to then refocus for the future, as we say, against Switzerland, which is a tough match. Switzerland have got into the finals, knockout stages of the last 5 major tournaments. They are a good opponent, and it's for us to go in with that scrappy underdog spirit and elevate our performance and hopefully come up against expectations and do well.
How realistic should you be when you are facing a situation like that? Or does realism go out the window to a certain extent? Because, you know, I mean, any sort of sporting fixture, you might be able to look at results, and you just said what Switzerland's track record is there. And any reasonable person might conclude, and I don't want to say this specifically because I'm very hopeful that Scotland pull it off tonight, but in a sporting situation, do you sometimes have to recognise that your opponent is better than you?
I think what can help is tapping into the spirit of the underdog. As a nation, our national anthem is about being underdogs. Proud Edward's army sent him homeward to think again. We are a scrappy underdog, and really trying to tap into that spirit of, yes, recognising that in our group, we're ranked 39th in the world, Germany ranked 16, Switzerland 19, Hungary 26. So it's using that information to actually take the pressure off ourselves, thinking that expectations of everyone around us shouldn't logically be hugely high. So we should see this as an opportunity that actually we've got it all to gain. If we don't win, well, you know, people didn't necessarily expect that. So actually it's trying to tap into the challenge of what are all the good things that we can do, should do to, you know, look back at when we were on that run of 5 matches, 5 victories that propelled us into the Euros. So if I was Steve Clarke over the last few days, I would have been showing them videos of those victories against Spain, Norway, Georgia, to really enhance our team's confidence so that when they go out, they don't have fear. They have that confidence, that work rate to then outwork and scale out creativity our opponents to then go and snatch that victory.
And can psychology elevate a performance in a significant level, or are you just as good as you are?
No, it absolutely makes a difference. So there's an awful lot of research that, again, if we look at underdog research, that when people think of themselves as underdogs, firstly, they come up with more solutions to problems than if they think of themselves as the top dog. So it's good to think of ourselves as the underdog, thinking of things in different ways. But you also get a boost in motivation because you're going out to prove something. You want to win, prove the doubters wrong, use that as your motivation. And you find from research that increases the performance, as I say, because the motivation, the work rate is higher. So I would hope that Steve Clarke, what I'm hoping he will have done over the last couple of days is, as I say, enhance the confidence of the squad, knowing that they can go out, they can do it, verbal persuasion. But looking at other teams, Slovakia beating Belgium 1-0, the underdog can win, they do win, and it's for us to look over at them and think if they can do it, well, we can do it too. Work hard, go out, do the jobs that all the players individually need to do, come together as a team, and like our royal flag of Scotland, the Royal Rampart, going out with that lion spirit and going out and hopefully getting that victory.
And what about the role of the fans? I mean, as ever, thank goodness the Tartan Army are true to form. They've been seen as such a positive presence out there in Germany, which is fantastic. But can it kind of go two ways there, in that because they are so great, you don't want to let them down, which adds a bit of pressure? Or is it kind of all good to have that sort of positivity behind you?
It's absolutely all good to have that positivity around you. I think there was 200,000 fans that went out for the Germany match, so that is a huge amount of goodwill to ride on the wave of, and it's for fans to recognise they absolutely have their place. There is a reason for the expression the 12th man. If you're in the crowd and you're supportive, you're cheering the players on, you're chanting different names, there's that positivity. That then, through something called emotion contagion, that just means emotions are contagious, that will boost our players' short-term confidence and motivation, meaning they'll work harder. And what we don't want to happen is, let's say, for example, we go 1-0 down against Switzerland. We don't want the fans to start to grumble, because the players will hear that. That fear will then come in. That has effects on working memory that mean we can't take new information in. We need the fans to keep positive, to keep
be with them all the way. Every He's here to help you if you have had any problems with something that you have bought, whether it is a service or a product, and you have not got a good deal and you're struggling to work it out. 08085 92 95 00 is the number to call Martin. He's always a good deal. You can also use that number to WhatsApp message or voice note, and you can text 80295. We'll also find out why the utility room is moving upstairs.
Who in the blue hell are you?
Mornings on BBC Radio Scotland.
To be so.
All right, y'all. Get up out of them chairs. If you're driving, don't get up out your seat, though. 'Cause it's time to dance. Get up. Take a listen.
I wanna start things out by giving testimony. 'Cause one of my friends got ill seriously. Now the doctor told him ain't no way you gon' live. But he prayed his prayer in faith and a miracle appeared. Yeah. It's all
Mackenzie back to her disco diva days.
Indeed, I used to love it.
You like
I couldn't
that?
tell you what year, but I love it.
No, we know that. That's all right. Don't worry. All rise. Yes, the Court of Karen is back in session as we get your verdict on this week's humdrum conundrum. And it was a humdinger of a humdrum conundrum, I thought. I really liked this one today. I was very much Team Dave, but I have to say I'm looking at the text and there's a lot of you out there that are Team Karen, which I applaud you for because I have no idea what she was talking about. And indeed, neither did she.
Hands up. As soon as there are figures involved, or mothers, brothers, aunties, nieces, nephew.
Yes,
had it.
Facts, we call them. As soon as there are facts involved.
Yeah, I don't deal with facts.
No.
No point.
I've got another good holiday horror story for you, but anyway, I'll hold that one just now.
Right.
Shall we refresh our memories of today's humdrum conundrum?
My friend invited my wife and I for dinner at a hotel to celebrate his wife's birthday. We'd given her a present previously. On the night, we all had a lovely evening with ample good food and wine. When it was time to pay the bill, which included a service charge, my friend asked if we could go halves, and I agreed. He then produced a £100 voucher, which the server deducted. As I was closest, I paid half the balance, and my friend paid the remainder, but looked a bit annoyed. Apparently, he expected me to pay half of the total bill. Was I wrong in paying just half the remaining balance?
There we go.
Yeah.
So you are in agreement with our correspondent in that you think it was perfectly reasonable for them only to pay half of the remaining balance.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm wondering, having heard that, should he have said, look, I've got a voucher for this place, before they even went out for the meal. So should have explained in advance, got a voucher for this place.
I really don't see why. And Dave,
actually, no, he would only say that if he was prepared to share the voucher.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know why this person would expect a slice of somebody else's gift voucher, because that's
so
they're
tight,
actually
hey?
looking for a discount on their meal because their pal has got a voucher.
But I think they're still restricted, no matter what Dave said. I think the voucher was for this place, this particular restaurant, and that's the only reason they're going there is because this person's got a voucher for this restaurant.
But presumably if they'd... Anyway, listen, we've done all this, haven't we? Shall we see what our jury thinks? Have you got your text?
Yeah, and I'm going to keep banging on about it.
Yes, I know you are, but you do. And now that you've got it in your head, I can see that you're feeling very pleased with yourself, that you actually know what it is.
It's because there's no interruption.
There's a sense of excitement here. Oh, I understand it. Yes. Go on then.
Right, this is anonymous, but it's not from me. 100% Team Karen.
You've been out there writing texts, haven't you?
A blinking finger, sir. Yeah, voucher person is a pure riddy. I love
pure
that.
riddy.
Pure riddy. If I have a voucher, I say to my pals, let's use this up. I'll chip the voucher in and then we'll split the difference. My pals may insist I don't pay my share of whatever excess there is, and in that case, I'll buy a round of drinks. Or you could pay for the tip or whatever.
But interesting, my pals may insist that I don't pay my share.
No,
of
there's too many
whatever
negatives and
excess.
positives there.
So they know that actually this isn't exactly fair. But anyway, go on, I'll give you it. Go on.
With Karen, if they didn't want to share the voucher, they should have gone alone. That's what I think. Another anon. Wish you'd said your name.
Yeah,
I've
got more, to be honest, if you want. Chris...
No, listen, I need to go now.
No, you just stay where you are. Christine says, I'm with Dave. Team Dave. I've never had Karen down as a skinflint.
It's not me that's a skinflint.
A skinflint.
It's the voucher
I say it
person that's
again.
a skinflint.
A skinflint. But